Welcome, everybody, to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. I'm your host, Ross Benjamin of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Friday, August the 18th, and I'm joined once again by the dynamic duo, Mr. Jesse Schule of jesseschule.com and gamblersworld.net, Mr. Sean Higgs. Boy, oh boy, that reflection from your head off the
Here we
light
go.
is
He's got jokes.
blinding me. I got to start wearing sunglasses when I
He's
look
got
at
jokes
you
for
on
my
the show.
shaved head.
Oh,
I got
my
a baby
goodness.
smooth head.
Anyway, you can find Sean.
You know what?
You can find Sean anywhere,
No.
but we would
Listen,
like you.
you.
Go
Now,
ahead. I don't want to cut
I would say
you off.
before we came to StreamYard, we'd come onto the show, and it was like, Jesse, you got to do something with your lights. Oh, it's too much shade on one side. My ring light's not even on high. This is just like a little glare. I just showered. I got to shave the head. It's a little.
You need to put a little polish on the head, boy,
no
Sean.
pleasing Ross,
man.
Jesse.
Hey, you shine as it is. You don't need polish on your head, my friend. Anyway, you could find Sean on the corner. No, you could find Sean.
Find me on a Rogaine channel for Hims hair care products.
Let me know when you're done so I could finish this. Are you done?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, now I can't even rant because it's still recording, and you can just like zip this right out until we're live, and then you'll see. Then you'll really release the beast, Ross.
You're an editing nightmare is what you are. Anyway, you can find Sean at gamblersworld.net. There you go. So today we're going to be covering 3 games on the NFL preseason card. 2 of them go on Saturday. Another one goes on Sunday. And then I'll be covering tomorrow. I'll be looking at the Monday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. And that'll do it for the week 2 card. All 16 games will be covered, folks. If you have missed, the games that we covered prior to today's show, go to Gamblers World. Go to Winners Circle Sports Betting Channel. Too many names. Holy cow. And you'll find all the archives of the show there. And again, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. You're watching, so you must be interested. And if you're on your PC, you'll see a WC logo in the bottom right-hand corner of your page. Just click on that. And if you're on your mobile device, you'll see a subscribe button, a black subscribe button. You can't miss it right below the video box. Click on that. We would deeply appreciate it. And while you're in your YouTube settings, hit your notification alert bell for the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel, and you'll be notified immediately upon us releasing any of our podcasts right here on our channel. All right, let's get to the games in hand. And we're going to start with Sean today. He's going to be covering the Sunday game between the Saints and the Chargers. And the Saints, a 3-point road favorite, and a total 38 in this game, Sean. Saints coming off an impressive performance in week 1. I don't know how much stock you want to put in that. The Chargers demolished the Rams in week 1. Yet here we are. The Rams are the Chargers are the underdog in this matchup at home. So take it away, my friend.
I'm going to take it away. You mentioned that Monday wraps up week 2. How about college football next Saturday, a week already college football? Everybody's complaining like, oh, I can't wait for football. Now it'll be over pretty soon. It'll be Christmas. People are going to be complaining about Halloween decorations. And
especially the college football season, Sean. It seems like it just flies by,
I can't believe it, man. Anyway, all right, let's talk. So, the Saints' nice comeback win, right? Last game, and Chargers beat a Rams squad. I'm going under here. And I mentioned yesterday, and you see this, 1 or 2 basically teams have these Thursday, Friday inter-squad games. You got NFL refs, starters going at it all game. We see a couple teams like, Denver, Kansas City already said, hey, our starter's going to play basically the first half, 20, 25 snaps. And you got other teams like, we're going to just go full-on practice, and then here come the reserves. And that's what we're probably going to see here from all indications. And on top of that, we have like a hurricane warning for Southern California coming in, heavy rains. I think that'll slow things down a bit as well. I mean, 37.5. Yeah, give me the under. You're not getting much Herbert here, if any. We get Jameis Winston out here? Yeah, no, thank you. Give me the under. bad weather. Teams already going hard, and I was reading one article yesterday how they were excited about their Thursday practice yesterday, and get to go game speed. Like my things are not changing. Under 37.5.
All right. Yeah, I got 38. So we'll give you
Okay.
38 on that. Okay. I'm sure that you won't pass that opportunity
No,
up to get that extra
grab
half
it.
a point on the under. And yeah, I mean, it's very rare that we have to talk about wind or rain conditions, rainy conditions, I should say, when talking about a game in Southern California, but that's the case. That stadium is partially enclosed. But if it's a hurricane type wind or heavy rains, there are openings in the stadium. It will be affected in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, your thoughts on what Sean had to say?
Me personally, I like the Saints. I don't like the Chargers head coach. I don't like the Chargers. I think are going to be less inclined to play starters. And you mentioned Jameis Winston. I'll take Jameis Winston in a preseason game any day, my man.
Over Easton Stick.
Stick actually had a good game last week.
That's his favorite names. Tell him why,
That's a
Jesse.
great name.
Yeah,
because the company that makes the hockey sticks is Easton. And so his name is Easton Stick. It's kind of like his name would be Hershey's chocolate bar or something, like
spoken like a true Canadian. Yeah, Easton.
He must
Stick.
be.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Saints laying of points on the road, and the Charge. You got to look at this line, and right off the bat, it's got to tell you that Justin Herbert's not going to see any action here, and if he does, it'll be 1 or 2 series at the most. And you got to believe that the Saints are looking at this as a dress rehearsal type game, being a favorite on the road here. I mean, if this game was during the regular season, I have to say the Chargers, based on what the prognostications are and what I've seen from the sports books in terms of futures, and Sean would know this better than I would say that if this game was in the regular season, Sean, and it was played at LA, I would think that LA is somewhere around a 3-point favorite in this game, correct?
Oh, yeah, I'd probably say maybe like a 4.
Yeah, 4. I was being conservative. So,
yeah,
yep.
I mean, Carr. I mean, they might give a little respect to Carr because he's faced the Chargers before, but
yeah,
I can't see it being less than that.
And they've also faced him, so you could look at that from a two-way angle.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, let's get to Jesse, and he's going to be covering the break up the Las Vegas Raiders against the hapless Rams. Boy, the Rams got issues, and the Raiders coming off a big win last week, 34-7. Over the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams, I said it last week. I'll say it again, Jesse. You look at their depth chart, and right now, their draft this year, they had 15 draft choices because they amassed so many draft choices because of prior trades they made. And you got to believe, again, that they got to take a look at these guys they drafted, and this is a perfect opportunity to do so. And the line indicates such. So, but it's not important what I think on this game. It is what you think.
Well, you said it, Ross. The Rams got all sorts of problems, and McVay doesn't seem to give, he doesn't care about preseason wins, as evidenced by his 7-12 all-time record in the preseason. And you got Josh McDaniels on the other side. His teams have won 5 straight in the preseason. I like the quarterback depth for the Raiders, and I was reading the local Las Vegas papers, and we all know that Aiden O'Connell was great in week 1, throwing for 141 yards, a touchdown on 15 of 18 passing. And the rumor is that he's looking to move up the depth chart, could possibly bump out Brian Hoyer for the backup position. So you got some motivation for both those guys. If Hoyer sees time, his job is being threatened, and Aiden O'Connell with a chance to move up the depth chart. And I talked about this with Detroit Lenny last night. When you see these guys that just get drafted, they come in, they have their first game or 2 in the preseason, and they play well. My inclination is that they're going to continue to play well, and at least the coaching staff is going to want to put them in position to do so. if you draft a guy, he comes out and shows some promise, you don't want to sabotage him in the next game and put him in position not to be able to do that. So and that actually turned out to be the case last night with DTR for the third straight game. He lit it up for Cleveland. I'm expecting the same for Aiden O'Connell here against the Rams. And like Ross said, it just doesn't look like the Rams have that much interest in competing to win this game. So I'll take the Raiders minus the 3.5.
All right. Raiders minus 3.5 is Jesse's pick, and over to LA Rams. And again, Sean Higgs, he likes the under 38 in the Saints and Chargers game. Sean, I liked Aiden O'Connell when he was at Purdue. I just didn't think he had a great supporting cast, but he was a productive quarterback, especially in his senior year. Anyway, your thoughts, if you have any, on that particular matchup Jesse just discussed.
Well, I mean, we're talking productive college quarterbacks. I got a guy, Stetson Bennett, looking pretty good. Threw 200 yards, a little TD in game in his first action. They get on this guy. Oh, we can't draft him. He's too old. All right, he's 25, I think, right? I mean, Brett Rippon from Boise is, a year or two younger than him? You think he's a better quarterback than Stetson Bennett staying in school and getting a chance to play? I like the Rams here. I know that McVay is in we talk about coaches, some win. We got Harbaugh, ridiculous run he's on or whatever. I think the Rams have some serious problems, and he's got to build a little goodwill here because I think the team is bad. I think Arizona's going to be horrendous, but I think the Rams are going to be right at the bottom of the West. They have age. They have, Cooper Kupp. All right, you got guys who are getting paid a lot of money and no depth. So they got. I'm not a Raider. I don't like the Raiders coach at all. I like the 3.5. I thought this game was a 4.5. Did it come down? I thought it was open a little higher. No, 3.5 was the opener. My bad. No, I was thinking the 49ers were 4.5. My apologies. Yeah. I like the Rams here. I'm going to take them, especially.
You're going to take the Rams. You like the Rams.
I like
so
the Rams.
You're disagreeing with Jesse.
I know we're the dynamic duo. I don't know who's Jordan and Pippen here.
Boy, there's
I'm like a crazy Dennis Rodman guy, but.
Anyway,
Sean,
Dennis Rodman
breaking out the pen.
The pen's out. We're against each other.
Breaking out the pen.
All right, but the official pick, folks, we always go with the assigned game and the official pick, and you could take Sean's opinion into consideration as well. That's why this show is great. We're not always going to agree, but the pick on that game is Jesse likes the Raiders minus 3.5 on the road against the Rams, and that game will be Saturday night, and then in the same stadium on Sunday, it's the Saints and the Chargers under 38 for Sean Higgs. All right, I'm going to look at the Cowboys and Seahawks, and I know I've been professing right along in NFL preseason. I put a lot of emphasis on head coaching trends. Every rule is made to be broken. And this is one of them because Seattle with Pete Carroll coming off a win, Seattle at home with Pete Carroll has been very good in the preseason. The Dallas Cowboys, well documented. If you follow preseason football through the years, Dallas hasn't been very good, especially in the Jason Garrett era. They were just absolutely horrendous, a little better with Mike McCarthy. Last week, Seattle comes off a 24-13 win, and they covered as a home favorite of minus 3.5 against Minnesota. The Dallas Cowboys were a 3.5-point dog at home last week to Jacksonville. They put up a good fight, but they lost and failed to cover barely 28-23. Here's the thing. I talked about this with Doug yesterday, guys, and I'll ask you when I'm done with this podcast or done with the analysis, excuse me. I just don't think you always have to try to find a reason to use a preseason underdog of a touchdown or better. And the history will show it. I'm looking at my database right now, a home favorite of 7 or greater, like Seattle is right now. And they're coming off a straight up an ATS win. They win 24-13 against Minnesota, cover as a home favorite of minus 3.5 last week, 14-29 against the spread since 87. That's 32.5%. Home favorites coming off a home favorite win, which is what Seattle is in the situation of. Those teams 65 and 95 against the spread. It's just 40.6%. And then an away underdog of 5.5 or greater playing in game 2, coming off a home dog loss, a little smaller sample size. And they have to be playing a team coming off a straight up win like Seattle is, who scored 33 or less, 5-0 against the spread and 3-2 straight up. Everything to me points toward taking the underdog here. And I know it's not going to be a real popular play because, like I said, Seattle's Pete Carroll with Seattle and the Dallas Cowboys as a franchise during the NFL preseason is horrible. But I'm going to take Dallas here. I just think, giving me 7 points in a preseason game and knowing that probably people are going to jump all over Seattle just because of the head coaching trends, I'm going to go with Dallas, sir. I'm going to take a risk here. Dallas, a calculated one at that. Dallas +7 over Seattle. Sean, the big favorites in the preseason, what's your feeling on that? I mean, you might take it game by game, but overall, I just rattled off some numbers that really show that big favorites in the preseason don't do very well.
Listen, I'm a dog guy most time. And you see these 6, 7, 8s of preseason, like Kansas City's a big number. The Falcons are a big number at home. I still got to lean the dog, although I feel that, especially when there's a move, I like the Denver game went from like 2 to a 4 or 5, and I think the Colt line moved up to a 5. Because all of a sudden you hear guys aren't playing, so you see kind of like that bump up there, what's lined into it. This one here, though, it came out this large. It's not like, well, there's going to be no Dak and no, it's not like it was set that nobody's starting in this game. It's one thing going from a 3.5 to a 6 or 7 because, the starters are going to play a series and that's it. To open like this, I'm with you, Roy. I mean, I'll gladly take a dog when anything is possible because you got backup guys in there, but these guys know that they could get cut. They're hoping somebody else picks them up. They're hoping just to make an impression. I'll take a touchdown. I'm with you.
Jesse, the old adage is nobody in the preseason deserves to be a favorite, of a touchdown or more. That was an old adage. We've seen it level off a little bit in recent seasons, but your overall view when it comes to looking at games such as this in the preseason where you have a team -6 or greater.
Okay, my opinion is if that big number is solely based on head coaching trends and one guy's going to play his starters without the bigger picture, without more factors accumulating, I think that you want to go with the dog because I've said it before. Nobody really actually plays their starters for a full half anymore. Usually when they say they're playing their starters, they mean maybe the first quarter, usually not an entire half. And then you still have to account for the rest of the game. And therefore you have to start accounting for second and third string players. But if you get a situation where you have like a Harbaugh, like if the Ravens are playing against the Rams and Harbaugh wants to keep that streak alive, the Rams aren't going to be playing anybody. Would I lay 6.5 in that game? You bet your butt I will.
Yeah. Different situation. Right.
But if we're just basing it on head coaching trends and one team's going to play their starters, then like I say, nobody's playing starters in the second half. You still have to account for what's going to happen in that second half. You see a lot of these preseason games where there's a lot of late scoring and backdoor covers. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and Sean makes a real good point because this was 7 coming right out of the gate. And there's no way that any head coach will disclose his player rotation schedule for that particular upcoming game that early on. So this is all, to me, it's got to be driven by the fact of what the sports books or the odds makers more specifically in terms of what they think public perception will be. And if you look at Seattle's preseason record under Carroll, and you look at just Dallas as a franchise over the last 10 to 15 years in the preseason, I think this is more about perception than anything else. Maybe Seattle will cover, but I'm not willing to bet that that's going to occur. As a matter of fact, I like the underdog here. So we're going to go with Dallas plus the 7 over the Seahawks. Sean likes the Saints and Chargers under the 38. He cites some possible weather conditions in Southern California, so keep an eye on that. And then Jesse likes the Las Vegas Raiders over the LA Rams. Raiders are minus 3.5 in that contest. So there you have it, folks. Jesse, tell the folks.
Can I just add? Let me just add something real fast, since we're talking about like the Cowboys.
You don't ever say anything real fast, so let's squelch that.
I'm gonna take 4 minutes here, probably. So the Steelers open up as like a 2.5, 3-point fave over Buffalo. It's flipped now; they're a dog. The best number is gone, folks. You don't have to run in on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday and be like, "Oh, I got to get this." The line moved. I guess the right side is Buffalo. Well, maybe at plus 2 or 3, it's Buffalo. Now they're favored. Yeah. The best number is gone on some of these games. You could have had Bears in 4, and apparently Fields isn't playing. The still line went from 2 to 4.5. So if the good number is gone, yeah, we say you can make money. But if the number's not right, you're not going to make money in the long term. That's a long.
Yeah, the Buffalo
you might catch
game,
one of them, but there's a lot.
Actually, I did the Buffalo game yesterday on our show with Doug Upstone, and just before I went on the air, I'm all ready to take the under 40. And just about an hour before we went on the air, I get an alert because I get the Western New York alert on the Bills, and it said that the Bills will be playing their starters for a quarter and a half. And just like Sean alluded to, it went from the Steelers being 2.5 to the Bills being -1, and the total going from 40 to 42 because of that news. It's no other reason.
And I think that's a complete overreaction as well, especially
the
against
Steelers starters are going to be playing too. Mike Tomlin came out last night and said he's playing his starters.
Well, how many starting quarterbacks do the Steelers have? Because I thought they had 3.
Yeah, that's what I
mean. All 3 of their quarterbacks are really starters, are they not?
Basically, yes.
I mean,
you're
is one really that much better than the other?
No, actually, I do like Trubisky a little bit better than Mason Rudolph, and I might be in the minority when I say that. Kenny Pickett is a bright young talent, but he's still only in his second year, so he'll be facing starting defensive players on the other side of the ball. I did go with Buffalo in that game as a free pick, not because I'm a homer, because I was ready to go with the under. And now I like him even more because if you reacted by making it 2.5 to 1, and then Tomlin comes out 7 hours later and says he's playing his starters as well, and the line doesn't move. At the end of the day, with all things being equal, McDermott's 11-1 straight up in ATS in his last 12 preseason games, and also 7-0 straight up in ATS in his first 2 preseason games, meaning game 1 and 2. I know that Pittsburgh under Tomlin has been very good as well. Jesse, you pointed that out last week. But again, it's a tough call, and the one I made, and I used Buffalo on the money line at -120. But having said all that, Sean, tell the folks a little bit about how you're doing of late, what you may have coming up this weekend.
Yeah, 41-30 run in baseball last 19 days here, August, last day of July. Preseason, I'm ready. I got a bunch of games loaded. The packages will be up today for NFL preseason and week 1 college football as well. Again, like I said, it's a week away, so you're going to get some college football, some NFL preseason, and, of course, Major League Baseball action from me.
We will be talking college football next week at some point. So, guys, be prepared like I always know you will. Preseason football this weekend, real interesting. Most of the games on the board are on Saturday night. Jesse, tell the folks what you got going on.
Well, I do have a preseason game tonight. I'm 8-0 with my last 8 NFL preseason games, so looking to extend that win streak. 17-5, 77% since 2019 NFL preseason. I got 2 games tomorrow, 1 tonight. Got some baseball. I got some CFL. CFL's actually picking up some steam. I've got really good all-time CFL records. You can check the leaderboards at Sports Capping and pick some parlays for that. But I got off to a pretty poor start to the season, to be honest with you, with CFL. But I think I've found my groove. Feeling good. It's football season. You got to get those picks at gamblersworld.net for week 0 and for the preseason tonight and tomorrow.
All right. You can find both of these gentlemen at gamblersworld.net. You could find me there as well. Folks, tough loss last night. I had the Philly and Cleveland game over 36. And the Cleveland field goal kicker misses a 47-yarder and with about 2 minutes left to play. And Cleveland gets called for offside. So now they move the ball 5 yards closer, 41 yards, and he misses again. He's not a backup kicker, York from LSU. He's just very erratic. So that cost me a winner. But, Cleveland first drive of the game got down to the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. They fumbled. It happens. It's preseason action. Anyway, I'm 2-1 so far in the preseason. And since 2021, 20-11, since 2010, all documented over at Sports Capping, 76-53 in the high 58 percentile range. So actually 59 if you want to round it off. So very good there. And I will remind all of you out there that Sports Capping came out with the all-time top 20 list in the preseason. And we have 5 of our 10 handicappers on that list. Us 3, Chip Chirimbus, and Mark Lawrence. So why wouldn't you want to go to gamblersworld.net? Because you're going to get preseason action there. Not only preseason action, but like last night, I lost that game, $25. The people who bought from me are going to get credited $25 back to your account, and you could use it any which way you like at any time you want. With any handicapper you want. So nice guarantee there. And that's our guarantee. Again, folks, it's for all subscriptions, 30 days or less, and all daily packages as well, whether it be a single game or multi-game package. I do have the total on Friday evening's game tonight between the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. You can get that right there at gamblersworld.net. I'll have plenty of baseball going on as I'm on a 15-7 run in Major League Baseball. So pretty good there. And guys, anything else you want to add before we sign off?
Sad day yesterday, Ross. So we lost one of the greats yesterday, Buffalo legend Rick Jeanneret.
Yeah. I was waiting for the smash come in here. I was sitting back patiently waiting for the smash the like button.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Thank you, Sean, for bringing that up. Jesse, what do you want him to do with the like button beneath us?
Well, I mean, you might want to consider smash that like button.
In emphatic fashion. Anyway, folks, hit that like button. It's just a small token of your
I'm not at a loss for words right now. How does Jesse yell like that at like 1 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know.
I guess my wife is saying
if you had a little baby, you'd like jolt out of bed.
He might be waking up all the time.
Sean, you don't do these 2-minute clips, right, for all the games? Well, yeah,
exactly.
I do 4 or 5 of them in a day. So that's I say smash that like button in every one. So you're getting that like every 15 minutes when I'm doing my
the kids
my
and
video
your wife
work.
are hearing that in their sleep, for crying out loud. They're tuned out. Anyway, Sean, I'm going to sign off right now. I just want to make sure that you're done talking.
Here we go. He's got jokes.
Okay.
All right.
Until the next time, for Ross Benjamin, Jesse Schule, and Sean Higgs, take care and God bless, folks.